Hi everyone, I'm Courtney. This video is to help you learn English. Today, I'm going to be trying to recreate a logo. I'm going to try to recreate the Subway logo. Subway is a brand of fast food restaurant that serves sandwiches. And today I'm going to be trying to recreate the Subway logo. Just so you know, this is what the Subway logo looks like. Okay, keep that image in your mind. Let's try to recreate it. I know that the Subway logo is green and yellow. Green and yellow. I'm wearing the perfect outfit. So let's start with the colors. I think it's a green that's a little bit bright. A green that's a little bit bright, but not too bright. And I'm going to remove the stroke. And we also want a yellow. So the yellow is something like this. Okay. We have our green and we have our yellow. The Subway logo is the shape of an S. It's the shape of an S, but it's two arrows. It's two arrows. Let's see, what is the best way to do this? I think I'm going to draw a triangle. So let's use our polygon tool to draw a triangle, something like that. And let's rotate it. I'm rotating it like that. Okay. I can't remember if the green is on the top or the bottom, but we can always rotate it if we need to. The Subway logo is two arrows. Let's see what would be the best way to create the arrow. I think let's make a square. Let's copy the square and let's make it into a rectangle. This is a square, now this is a rectangle. Okay, let's shorten it like this. Okay. And let's add a curve to it. So I'm going to rotate this rectangle. I'm going to put it so that the corners are touching. The corners are now touching. Okay. Now this part is rounded. I'm going to use the blob tool. And I'm going to use the blob tool to make this round. Something like that. I think that this part is also a little bit more rounded. Okay. It's hard to get this exactly perfect, but it needs to be just a little bit more round. If I look here, you can see that here there's this edge and there's also this white space. So I'm using the blob tool to fill that in. And now I'm going to use the eraser to smooth this out. Okay. There we go. Now, this side is sticking out a little bit too far. So I'm going to use the eraser again to smooth this out. Something like that. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these objects together and I'm going to rotate. I'm going to rotate this so that it creates the shape of an S. And this part is going to be green. Okay, this isn't quite right. This is too straight. It's too straight. It needs to be more curved, like an S. So, I'm going to delete this and zoom in. And I am going to use this tool, this pen tool, to curve this S part a little bit more. And this needs to be more rounded. This needs to be more round. Oh, not like that. So I'm going to make this just a little bit more round. Okay. Let's use the eraser to clean up the edges, to smooth out the edges. Okay. Now, let's copy this and rotate it. I'm rotating the arrow. And now I'm putting it on top. I'm going to make this green. I'm going to make this green. And here is the Subway logo. It's too tall. It's too tall. Something's not right. Let's move this. Let's copy this. I think maybe the green arrow is a little bit closer to the yellow arrow. I think it's maybe something more like this. This looks too tall. This looks a little bit better. I don't know if the yellow or the green is on top. So let's try to experiment. I'm making the top arrow yellow and the bottom arrow green. I definitely think the green arrow is on top. I'm not sure, but I think the green arrow is on top. One thing I'm not satisfied with is this needs to be more rounded. This needs to be smoother. Let's take the arrow and let's smooth it out. So let's use our eraser tool. No. Let's use the pen tool and let's round this. I think we want this part round. We want this part to be more round. And let's move this point in. Okay. And let's smooth this part out. And make this a little bit wider. Okay. That looks a little bit better. Let's use our eraser tool to smooth this out a bit more. And actually make this a little bit thinner. A little bit thinner. Less thick. This still is not quite as round as I want it to be. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now let's copy the arrow and rotate the arrow. We're rotating the arrow. We're putting the arrow on top. And we're making the arrow green. Okay. I think the Subway logo is something like this. I'm not happy with the middle. I'm not happy with the middle of the logo. I think that these 2 points connect. I think it's like this, but I think that these 2 points are more horizontal. I think they're more horizontal. Let's do this. Let's copy this arrow and let's use the pen tool to move these 2 points, to move these 3 points actually. And let's make the logo more of a C shape, more of a backwards C shape. Let's round this part and move this part up and round it. Okay. We need to widen this part. We need to widen it out. And move these out a little bit. Now, let's clean this up a little bit. Let's erase part of the logo. Okay. Now, let's copy this arrow. Let's rotate the arrow. And it's still not quite right. Something is a little bit wrong. I think this needs to be longer. It needs to be a little bit longer or maybe rotated. I like this one better than this one, but I still don't think it's quite right. Let's try different rotations. Let's try different rotations of the logo. It's annoying because in my mind, I can see the Subway logo. I just don't know. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it needs to be flatter? No. Okay. I think that this is the best I can do. Or maybe not. Let's make these smaller. Let's make these smaller. And move this over here. Okay. I'm going to take this triangle and move it this way. I'm going to move the triangle to the right. Then I'm going to extend the S part of the logo. I'm going to extend and once again round. Then I'm going to do what I have been doing. Copy the arrow, rotate the arrow, and align the arrow like this. Then make the bottom part yellow. Okay. I think this is the best I've done so far. I think this is the best I've done so far. Let's round out these corners. Let's round this out a bit. Let's move this up a little. That looks better. Let's do, well, I want it to be equal. So we need to copy the arrow, rotate the arrow, align the arrow, and change the color to yellow. Perfect. Okay, do I flatten it a little bit? No. Okay, this is my final submission. This is my final submission for the Subway logo. It looks like this. Now, let's go look at the real Subway logo. Let's look at the real logo. Okay. This is the real Subway logo. I did okay. I did okay. I got the green arrow on the top and the yellow arrow on the bottom. The arrows are much closer together. Let's copy this and move the arrows much closer together. Something like that. My colors are a little bit off. My green needed to be darker. My green needed to be darker. And my yellow needed to be a little bit darker as well. The ends of the arrows needed to be pointed. They needed to be a little bit more pointed. Something like this. So that in the middle, it wasn't such awkward spacing. And overall, the spacing and the consistency of the arrow needed to be a little bit cleaner, a little bit more consistent. The edges here needed to be rounded. This needed to be a little bit more rounded on both of the arrows. So you'll see that with a few tweaks, with a few things done differently, my Subway logo would have looked a lot more similar to the actual logo. This logo this logo looks a lot more similar to the actual Subway logo. Wow, I am having difficulties. Technical difficulties. Okay. So, to recap, this is the logo I created. This is the logo with the right colors and a little bit of tweaking. And this is the actual Subway logo. I think I did okay. I'm proud of myself. What do you think? Do you think you could have done better? Thanks for watching this video. I'm Courtney, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!